First off, I keep getting told that I sound like G-Man. I get this comment at least once a week. I don't think it's true, but I really don't hear it. I don't know, I just had to say. There's also another thing that everybody says I sound like, but that one I can't really deny. Either way, you're all adorable, and today we play a mod that is very different from most of the mods I play, but it's something that I wanted to highlight due to how much I want people to make more mods like this. It's not a total overhaul mod. It doesn't even add a new path or a new leader or new focuses to the game. It's an Anschluss Overhaul mod. These are the types of mods we need more of. In addition to the Better Call Saul and Morbius mods of the world, we also need these mods that focus on a specific part of the game and greatly enhance that part of the game. So first, we get a different event. Usually we just get an event that annexes Austria and gives us the cores for free. Technically, Austria in vanilla has a choice, but the AI will almost always accept the choice, definitely always in vanilla, but if you're on ahistorical and they get guarantees, or Germany's in a bad position, I believe they sometimes deny, but usually they just accept. So the Austrian Chancellor is going to a meeting in Bavaria, and the Anschluss will come soon enough now. So Austria gets its event, and the UK gets an event, which is different. Usually the UK and France don't get to react to the Anschluss, which is kind of weird because they have the option to react to the Rhineland being demilitarized, but then they don't have the option to react to an entire country getting annexed, which I believe there's some historical reasons for, but in terms of gameplay, it's a little weird. So Kurt, the Chancellor of Austria, bends, so we increase our pressure on Austria, but the Italians back Austria because they want Austria to become their own puppet state. They have options, you know, build a faction with them in their terrible focus tree. Of course I'm saying all this, and Italy's gonna get a new focus tree in like 4 weeks, so this will be outdated soon, but I'm sure in the new update Italy will also be able to puppet or make a faction with Austria. But since the Italians are backing them, we can either be weak and back down, losing a lot of fascism support, stability, and political power, or we can get an annex wargle against them, though Austria now has that guarantee from Italy, so it makes things very unique. So now we would have to fight Austria and Italy, and since Italy is our ideological ally, it's just going to weaken us in the long term. Of course, playing as Germany and vanilla Hoi4 is far from a challenge, so this, if anything, just makes it more fair. Today, though, we are going to play as a different country and protect Austria. There's also another interesting route, a Frankfurt conference. I believe that fired because there's this faction that formed to protect Austria, and then us as France also guaranteed Austria. So now we'll play a regular game as France to see what happens. Hopefully the AI decides to surprise us, but we will set it on historical, so the only divergence will be us guaranteeing Austria. So I don't know exactly how much that'll change things. We'll have to see. Of course, playing as France, we might get a civil war too, but I don't know if that will fire. For those of you who don't know, there's a civil war that fires if you deny the Rhineland, which makes it a bad idea to not deny the Rhineland. So here we are as France. We're preparing for a very fast conflict, just building military factories. It'll be us and Austria versus Germany. We won't have anybody else's help. We can maybe get to the little Entente focuses fast enough, but I don't plan on getting much help. Remilitarization of the Rhineland we will ignore, but we will get involved to save Austria in about 2 years. So I always think this is weird, getting ourselves as a political advisor. It's been a while since I did the regular path as France. Just, I don't know. It's interesting getting your own country leader as a political advisor, but the political advisor has a slightly different portrait, so they kind of look like different people. And by doing some of our powerful military factory focuses early and only building mills, we're only 4 military factories behind Germany, and we have Czechoslovakia in our faction, who has 11 military factories and a decent-sized army, and we'll get Austria in our faction most likely. I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna go down. They don't have a very strong army, unfortunately. So holding on to them will be difficult, but Czechoslovakia should be able to help. Our main plan will be to naval invade here and put an army of 24 decent divisions into northern Germany and defeat them very quickly, as long as we don't get a civil war. Here's the new event. Hungary also is demanding their thing. I'm not going to pull Hungary into this, so we can deal with them later. German pressure on Austria, though. We're going to do more than just a diplomatic objection. As much as I'd like to be nice, the British be damned, we can't allow the Germans to do as they please. Okay, so we're going to go with a no is a no. Try to get Austria in our faction or something. No compromise has been reached as Austria's guaranteeing powers ended being implaceable. Against all odds, however, the Germans backed down. So we got the event we got in the practice thing. Interesting. And now Italy, Austria, and Hungary are in their own faction on historical focuses too. Unfortunately, I can't justify on Germany, so that's sad, but I guess this is kind of a good, interesting, unique outcome. We avoided war and we didn't appease Germany. We just said no, and they were forced to back down, because if they didn't back down, they would have to fight us, Italy, Austria, Hungary, Yugoslavia, and Czechoslovakia. We all stood together. That's kind of cool. See, now Germany has 31 mils and we have 30 mils, so they definitely have better civs and are in generally a better position, but things aren't going to be so good for them as they eventually declare war on Czechoslovakia because they won't have Austria. Okay, and as funny as it would be to leave the Czechs to their fate after defending Austria, we're not going to do that. We'll invite Romania too. I wish I did this focus first so they joined us prior to the war, so Yugoslavia and Romania could move divisions to Czechoslovakia, but I think we should be okay. I guess the UK is also now in a war with Germany. That's convenient for us. I guess next we will work down the focus to merge the factions, so the Little Entente and the Allies will become one. And our naval invasion unfortunately failed, but with Romania in our faction now, we can move our army of good divisions into Yugoslavia through Romania and into Czechoslovakia. And then things will be good because they don't have a fort line in Czechoslovakia. Here they have the west walls, so we have to break through level 3 forts, which is still possible. Not very easy. Well, maybe it was kind of easy. Okay, well, this was a kind of interesting war. We just got an encirclement along the west wall, and we were almost getting an encirclement here, but then Germany decided to throw any chance they had away, declare on Poland, so now this isn't very interesting anymore, but at least it'll be fast. And I've never once done this focus in vanilla, but we've combined our lines with the Allies, so now we're all in the Little Entente. I thought this focus would just change our name to the Entente, because it doesn't really make sense to call this the Little Entente anymore, but that's fine. We'll now do this focus to give 2 military factories to all of our allies. Yeah, and combining the allies worked. Now there are a lot of divisions on our side everywhere, and Poland is not going to fall anytime soon. Once again, though, I have to say, it's a really good mod. I wish there were more small mods like this, or maybe a bigger mod that focused on a lot of these major events to allow more interesting scenarios to develop, because you could, of course, get into a war similar to this, but it just adds a lot to the game to be able to support Austria and have something like this happen without Italy specifically going down their path. And this is on historical focuses too, and usually you can get France in a faction like this on historical, but you rarely see an independent Austria on historical focuses in almost 1940. But that's all for today. If there are any other mods like this that you want me to check out, I might not make a full video on it, but maybe I can combine it with some other mods in a different video. Either way, I'll see you all next time. Bye.